Hey YouTube, Twig here, bringing you all my number 103 Ragna Zero Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile. Making my way through the 100 numbers decks. We've done a good number of them in the past. 103 was actually one of the overlooked ones. We've done Star Seraph, Battling Boxer, Sharks, Hands, you name it, and even Tachyon Dragon. So I think 103 is one of the last ones we really have to tackle. And also, yeah, Umbra Horror. So this is definitely the last deck that I haven't featured really on the deck for the channel, focusing on the Ice-Wing Beast monsters used by Rio Castle in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal anime, summoning out the different water wing beast type monsters to then be able to overlay into our number 103 Ragna Zero and then rank up into Ragna Infinity. So a very fun deck that focuses on using the different attack points of our monsters for additional card effects against our opponent. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So we'll go ahead and start off with the main deck monsters. For the actual Wing Beast monsters, we're running 3 copies of Blizzard Falcon. If this card's current attack is higher than its original attack, you can inflict 1500 damage to your opponent. This effect can only be used once while this card's face up on the field. You can only use this effect of Blizzard Falcon once per turn, having the option to then just have a 1500 attack point burn against your opponent is quite scary, especially with this card and its different attack options. But just being another Wing Beast target to use for some of the other cards we run in the deck, because there are some other special summon options, plus some additional new Ice Wing Beast monsters to run from up to Alliance Insight in the deck. Blizzard Falcon just being one of the original level 4 monsters to use as a special summon target, which you can then summon out those cards with cards like Blizzard Thunderbird. You can discard one card to special summon 2 Water Wing Beast type monsters, one from your hand and one from your graveyard, except for Blizzard Thunderbird, then return this card from the field to the hand. You can use this effect of Blizzard Thunderbird once per turn. Once again, it's that setup that we mentioned before, giving you 2 of your Water Wing Beast type monsters to then use to overlay into our main go-to boss monster, number 103, Ragna Zero. So then we just have this setup with an additional monster on the field to use, and also 3 copies of Siren Orca. If you control both fish and wing beast monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. When you do, you can declare a level from 3 to 5. The levels of all monsters you currently control become the declared level. If you activate this effect, monsters you control can activate their effects for the rest of the turn, except for water monsters, which really isn't a problem because the majority of monsters we run in the extra deck are water monsters, and we are running a small fish engine in the deck also to assist with the special summon power. And the fish engine doesn't limit us to any of our plays we can do except for Xyz monsters from the extra deck. The newest part of the Ice-Wing Beast monsters include the Migratory Zero-Ort. If a water Xyz monster is on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. During your main phase, you can detach 1 material from a monster you control. Then you can special summon 1 level 3 or 4 water monster from your hand or graveyard, but its effects are negated. Also, it can be treated as a level 5 monster this turn. If it is used for the Xyz summon of a water monster, you can use this effect of Migratory Zero-Ort once per turn. So Siren Orca and this card can help to set up rank 5 Xyz plays, which we also have in the deck in the form of number 94 Crystal Zero, which then we can use that card to overlay into full armored Crystal Zero Lancer as one of the bigger boss monsters as well in the deck. So just a level 5 answer, making it so Ragna Zero is not the only monster that we run in the deck, and then the additional setup for those other monsters as well to use in the deck for those additional plays. And then also additional cards used by Rio Castle, being Aurora Wing. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon this card face up attack position. You can use this effect of Aurora Wing once per turn. So while a little slower of a card to compete in today's current meta, it's in here as just another water wing beast target to use for some of our other cards, including Blizzard Thunderbird. So it could be another target from the hand to special summon out, or one set up in the graveyard after it acted as more of a wall. Once it was destroyed by battle the first time, summoned back, and then struck again into the graveyard. But just a 2 of copy count for this card. And then for the actual fish engine that I mentioned also, 3 copies of Buzzsaw Shark, 2 copies of Lantern Shark, and 1 Silent Sea Nettle, having the recycle power of Nettle to shuffle back water monsters into the deck, Lantern Shark as a special summon target off of Buzzsaw Shark, and then the level adjustment for both of them being able to be used for the Xyz summon of a water monster to be either a level 3 or 5 water monster to then help with the rank 5 plays as mentioned before. For the hand traps in the deck, keeping a small number because we just need more of the engine to work with our actual plays. Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. I thought of running Fuelos in the deck, but Fuelos is a wind wing beast monster, so it really help much with the water aspect. So just Ash Blossom and Infinite Impermanence for the hand traps that we run in this deck. For the spells, a big help with the deck is obviously 7th Tachyon. You're revealing a number exceeds monster from your extra deck. That is a number between 101 and 107. Add one monster from your deck with the same type or attribute as that monster. So just being able to then reveal the added type of one of our monsters, since remember Ragna Zero is a fairy monster, but it is a water monster, to then search off the needed Zero-Ort monster as well, but also having the added special summon power for those monsters from the field to the hand using this card, and 7th Ascension to be able to search out the needed 7th Tachyon spell as well with this, or even one of our Barian rank up spells, which we are running the 2 copies of Rank Up Magic Barian's Force, and the 7th one as an added special summon play and rank up play using all 3 of these spells. And then for the rest of these spells, 2 copies of Pot of Desires. There's a good number of majority of cards around the deck, but you do need draw consistency, so I don't mind running this as more of a banish cost for the main cards in the deck. And then the 1 of spells being 1 Cattle Call for another special summon option of a Wing Beast monster whose original type from the extra deck to the field as well for the added beast power. This is so we can get more or less Ice Beast Zerofin out onto the field for the rank up play. There's no restriction for the number plays using this card, but just sending that monster whose type is the monster with the same original type that cannot attack and its effects are negated. So you'll use it to get out Ice Beast Zerofin on the field being a wing beast monster, not so much for your number plays, but then the 1 Call by the Grave along with the 1 Monster Reborn and the 1 triple Tactics talent for the rest of the spell lineup, with our traps being the hand trap as mentioned before, just the 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence to use alongside our Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. And then for the extra deck, we're running 2 copies of number 103, Ragna Zero. Once per turn, quick effect, you can detach 1 material from this card. Target 1 attack position monster your opponent control, whose attack is different than its original attack. Destroy it, and if you do, draw 1 card. So it's our go-to 103 monster for the destruction setup. And using that monster, additional draw power as well, thanks to this card also. The 2 copies of Honor Arc as another option for 7th Tachyon to be able to search out the additional needed cards being water attribute in the deck. The bigger rank up forms being the 1 C103 Ragna Infinity and the Silent Honor Dark as well for the rank up plays to go into, with Ragna Infinity being the main focus of the deck. Once per turn during either player's turn, you can detach an exceeds material from this card. Target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the difference between that monster's attack and original attack and its current attack. If you do, banish it. When this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard while it has exceeds material, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. Number 103 Ragna Zero must be in your graveyard to resolve this effect, but then giving you a resource back onto the field with the very similar special summon power of Silent Honor Dark also. And then also for some of the other monsters, 2 Ice Beast Zerofin, one of the other main monsters before her number lineup that Rio used, needing 2 level 4 Wing Beast type monsters. Once per turn, you can detach an exceeds material from this card, negate the effects of all face-up cards your opponent currently control, and if you do, this card gains 300 attack for each face-up card currently on the field, except this card. This effect applied during your next standby phase as well, and then being able to have the added setup for those cards. The 1 copy of Crystal Zero, along with the 1 Freezadon for more water rank 5 options to go into, and then full armor Utopic Grey Lancer as another overlay option by discarding a spell from our hand to do so. The 2 copies of Crystal Zero Lancer, being able to use a rank 5 water monster to exceed summon into this and transfer the materials, gaining 500 attack for each material attached to it. And if this card on the field be destroyed by battle or card effect, being able to detach a card instead, and being able to detach one from this card, negate the effects of all face-up monster your opponent currently controls to the end of this turn for added negate power, thanks to it also. And then lastly, 1 Exciton Knight and 1 Tornado Dragon, just for some more generic options in the deck. But as I said, a lot of times we're locked into the water play, but we still have a good majority of the extra deck being water. These are just more generic options to rely on if we need any kind of destruction power. And then as for some of the go-to plays in the deck, the new card, as I mentioned, from Alliance Insight, Migratory Zeraort, is a big help in the deck if a Water Exceeds monster is on the field. So you'll need the additional play, whether you use your Shark engine or your Zerofin engine to do so, with cards like Blizzard Thunderbird as well, just needing the one additional monster in your graveyard for the target beforehand. So if you set up Blizzard Falcon or any of your other Xyz plays, you can use Blizzard Thunderbird on the field, being able to then discard one card, which once again, you have to have the beast monster in your graveyard beforehand to have the target available for the one you discard. But then using this card, you can summon out your two different monsters from the graveyard and one from the hand, bouncing this card back to your hand, going for the overlay play into your first go-to monster, which can be your summon of your Ice Beast Zerofin to have this Xyz monster on the field, and then use Migratory Zeraort if a monster is on the field, special in this card from your hand, being able to attach material from a monster on the field to then, with this card, special summon a level 3 or 4 water monster from your hand or graveyard, but its effects are negated, and then you can use it as a level 5 monster, so you can summon back the Blizzard Falcon, overlay the 2 into your next go-to monster, which can be your Crystal Zero for that additional play. So if you want a Crystal Zero and not Ice Beast Zerofin, you can always put the main boss monster of the deck, 103. Instead, it really doesn't affect any of the plays for the summon here, but then you have the Crystal Zero play to make the attack half, and then after using that detached from that card, be able to overlay into your full armored Crystal Zero Lancer using those two monsters on the field also. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed. With this, I think I've pretty much covered all of the 7 different 100 numbers decks on the channel finally. And I hope you all enjoyed. And until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And Kira Twig out.